Fresno, California, brought in some unsettling video footage that he obtained the previous night. During an interview, Jose said that he had a surveillance camera set up in his front yard because on a previous occasion, someone tried to steal something from him. The man woke up late at night by his dogs barking strangely, and when he looked over the surveillance monitor, this is what he saw. 3 months later, the paranormal investigator received a call from Jose for a follow-up, in which he went to take a look at the area where the nightcrawler was spotted. Since the footage of the nightcrawler surfaced, there has been a lot of research done on it. As you can see from the video, the nightcrawler appears to be a very thin humanoid that is about 4 feet tall and lacks a torso or arms. According to some Native Americans around the area, nightcrawlers have been around for a while and originally come from a planet that is mostly swampland, which their long legs supposedly help them maneuver through. The Native Americans say these creatures are friendly and are on Earth in order to help humans awaken and eventually create peace and harmony. How much of this is true is unknown, but I do know there have been 2 supposed sightings of this. One would be the sighting from Jose, and the other sighting can be seen in this video. This video also shows 2 creatures, just like in the last video, but this video has not been confirmed real or anything like that. This cryptid also got a lot of attention from a TV show called Fact or Faked, in which they actually decided to investigate this and find out if it was real or not. In the episode of the show where they featured this, they decided to see if it was a hoax by attempting to see if they could somehow recreate it. First, they went over to Jose's house and set up their own cameras at about the same area where Jose's surveillance camera was. Then they dressed up a little kid in white and got him to walk along the same path as the nightcrawler did to see how similar this would look. They concluded that whatever was in the original video was definitely not a person, since in their video it was very obvious what they were seeing was a kid. After this, they set up a mechanical puppet on a pulley and made it walk across the yard. Not only did this not really look like the original Nightcrawler video, but the movements weren't nearly as fluid as they were in the original video. Next, they put a cloth over the puppet and tried again. This looked a little more similar to the original video, but the movement still swayed way too much, and it just didn't look right. Finally, they had one of the crew members hold the puppet on a stick and walk the puppet across the yard himself, with the intention of editing himself out later on. Once again, movements here didn't look nearly as fluid as they did in the original. It was at this point that they concluded it was most likely not a puppet. In a final attempt to figure out what this might have been, they decided to head out to the woods near the area to see if there was some type of animal or something in the area that made its way through his yard. While they were out in the woods, a lot of their electronics began to malfunction for an unknown reason, and eventually, they decided to use a thermal camera to see if anything was around. With the thermal camera, they spotted these 2 unidentified entities walking away in the woods, and then disappearing from sight. When the crew went to follow, they saw the ground in that direction was disturbed, and the tracks led to a pond. After they analyzed all the evidence, they came to the conclusion that the Nightcrawler video was unexplainable. This whole thing is pretty mysterious in my opinion, and if it is a hoax, then I think it was done pretty well, but I want to give my 2 cents on this. I find Jose's story to be a little strange. He says that he woke up late at night to his dogs barking, and then used a separate camera to record the aliens on a surveillance monitor. There's one thing that doesn't make sense to me about this. As you can see here, the recording starts a considerable amount of time before the nightcrawlers appear on the screen. So why was he recording the screen if you didn't even know what was about to happen?
Are you hacking? Because I can't shoot you.
And if you just rewound the surveillance footage to go back and start recording, that makes even less sense.
Why? Why are you doing this? Stop!
I also want to address the investigation that took place in Fact or Faked. Whereas I think they did a great job, I feel like there were still some aspects that may have been a bit flawed. First of all, when they set up their camera at Jose's house to try to replicate what happened, they kind of just ignored the fact that the camera they used to record recorded a much better quality than Jose's camera, which might have been why some of their stuff didn't look authentic enough. I feel like the only way to make the experiment really work would have been to use the same camera that Jose used. What I really thought was interesting, however, was when the crew spotted 2 creatures in the woods. It is possible that these were nightcrawlers, since there were 2 of them, just like there were 2 nightcrawlers in the original footage. But then again, these creatures they saw might have also been deer or some other type of animal. There really isn't enough evidence to make a solid conclusion about what they saw. The Nightcrawler is definitely pretty intriguing, and I'll admit that the videos I've seen of it are impressive. But unfortunately, like a lot of hoaxes, the videos with conclusion about what they saw. The Nightcrawler is definitely pretty intriguing, and I'll admit that the videos I've seen of it are impressive. But unfortunately, like a lot of hoaxes, the video is way too low quality to truly make out what was being seen in the video. So, I don't think we can make any conclusions about whether or not this thing is real without any more evidence. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the flip side. Now at Subway, kids can try something new. The Green Eggs and Ham Kids Meal, only at Subway. Something new with fun. Birdwatching can be a pretty interesting hobby for some, if you're into that kind of thing. But imagine just taking a normal walk one day, and then all of a sudden, seeing a giant pterodactyl-sized bird flying around. Some people have claimed to see just that, and they call it the Thunderbird. A Thunderbird is a cryptid that has reportedly been seen flying across the skies all across the United States. The bird is described as having a body that is 4 to 8 feet in height, and a wingspan that is 10 to 20 feet in height. Its weight is unknown.
I'm trying to get away from the cops.
diet is also unknown, but presumed to be carnivorous. Legends of the Thunderbird go all the way back to native tribes all across America. Some of these stories would say the bird was so powerful that when they flapped their wings, thunder was created, and when they blinked their eyes, lightning was created, and that water would fall off their backs, creating rain. The tribes would sometimes use the Thunderbird as a way to explain things that happen naturally, such as storms and bad weather. Throughout time, there have been multiple sightings of the Thunderbird. One of the most bizarre sightings occurred on July 25th, 1977. In Lawndale, Illinois, sometime between 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m., a mother was cleaning up the kitchen while her kids were playing outside. While cleaning, she heard a scream from outside. When she ran outside to see what it was, she saw two massive birds chasing her 10-year-old son, and then one of the birds took its claws into the boy's shirt and lifted him up off the ground. The mother began attacking the birds until it finally let go of her son and then flew away. The mother reported this to the police and described the bird as having a white ring around its neck, a black body, each wing was 4 feet, and the entire length of the bird, from beak to tail, was about 4.5 feet. Some
Heck
people
you,
believe the bird she saw
motherfucker.
was an Andean condor, which is a black bird with a 10-foot wingspan and a white ringed neck. Andean condors, however, are not capable of lifting heavy objects. Another interesting Thunderbird sighting happened in 1980. In Arizona, 2 cowboys claimed to have caught a giant bird with a huge wingspan. The bird supposedly had smooth skin, featherless wings, and an alligator-like face. Its description vaguely matches that of a pterodactyl. The cowboys dragged the bird into town and pinned it up against the barn. Allegedly, a picture of this was published in the local newspaper, but there isn't really any proof that any of this actually happened. Although there are a lot of people who claim that they remember this happening, no one has ever actually produced a copy of the supposed picture. Some people believe that the description of the image is enough to create a false memory in the minds of people, so they may think they saw the picture before when they actually haven't. There have been many attempts to produce the image that was supposedly shown in the newspaper, but most of these examples either don't depict what was described, or if it's been proven false. This one, for example, is just a museum's recreation of the now extinct bird called Argentavis magnificens, which was a type of pterosaur. Its wingspan was about 20 feet and weighed 176 pounds, and went extinct about 6 to 8 million years ago. This picture is the closest I've seen to what was depicted